Hey guys, how you been? Back with another game from the ANZ Spring Championship Season 1. And today we're actually going to be covering the game that happened in the lower bracket, round 1, between two great teams. It's Override going up against Microgods in a best of 3, which did actually go down to the wire. And as you might actually see from the UI below, both teams actually did have no logo. So what we've done is we've used our creative art because people don't know how to use Paint or Photoshop, and we've chosen logos for them. So Override, this team that like to sort of push the button, go into that 5th gear, and well, that's where we found that.
Yeah, the big red button certainly justifies that. And, I was searching up, I was trying my hardest to think of one for Microgods. And so I searched up Google Images. I came up in microphone. And I thought, microphone god, rap god, Eminem. So, fantastic. And everyone that watches the stream, you know that I have an Eminem post that always keeps us company on stream, all us friends and far now. So, so fitting, and Microgods, doesn't he look so good down there? Look at him.
He looks like a swagged out boy, and that might be the result for them at the very end. We'll have to wait and see, but please do stick around, jump into Game 1 as we do begin the series. And here we go, Game 1 on Dragonshy in the losers bracket between Override and Microgods, and kicking it off on the left-hand side, it is Shy playing Zagara, Aluminum on Ufa, Demise on Li Ming, John playing Zeratul, and KVA on Muradin.
And on Team Microgods, we do indeed see Joanna being played by Tuka, Godzilla on Sonya, Cruven playing Rhaegar, Physics on Thrall, and JT on the Vala.
Yeah, interesting drafts coming out from both teams. I do feel as if Microgods have the stronger wave clear, and Thrall being the best sort of counter or lane matchup to go toe to toe with Zagara. But here we go, a bit of a scuffle in the mid lane. There goes the Condemn onto 3. Nothing's going to really be followed up from that at this stage. KVA being forced to jump out already, and John as Zeratul instantly bolting out, but he's going to go straight back to base, not taking any chances with that one.
Indeed, we always usually see the scuffle at level 1. It's kind of like testing the ground, and if the team isn't quite prepared, you might be able to get yourself a cheeky pitch and put yourself in the lead. But look at this, Demise already taking a bit more damage as well, but the poke potential for Team Override there is just fantastic. That is what Li Ming is known for, that massive siege damage and the massive range he has on those abilities.
Yeah, they have an interesting team comp, Override. I say they have Li Ming, this is pre-nerf to Magic Missile, so his structure damage is so very strong, and they want to try and rotate as much as they can to get as much value out of that damage and really snowball that lead like we've seen Negative Synergy do with Benjamin 94.
Exactly, and what a fantastic games those were. But look at the pressure here at the top lane. Shy going dangerously low, but just not quite enough. Cruven, those lightning shields a bit too weak there to take out a strong old Zagara. But of course, her on that movement speed on the creep, I'm saying. She's going to be quite quick and agile at the beginning.
Oh, Tuka looking in the brush. The stun actually does juke out there. Tuka with some fancy footwork as he does pop the shield afterwards. But there goes the first cap in the bot lane, picked up by Sonya. And it's a bit of a neutral standoff here at the top stage so far. But Physics is walking into it now. And as he goes for the cap, a bit of an engagement's going off into this mid lane. They might actually pick Cruven off in this engagement. They're still chasing on. Jati's looking for the cap. There goes Demise turning away. The orb doing damage to stop him. Cruven is going to drop. Shy's already rotated. Thrall's nowhere near. And Jati once again tries to pick up a consolation prize. But the damage, the orbs are so very close.
Yeah, they're actually pulling them away off their Dragon Eye, and that is fantastic. Now we do see KVA and Uther Aluminum rolling around to the bot lane to capture that point, and we did actually see a lot of pressure at the top lane in that mini-map as well, and Shy, look at him go, just pushing him away. Physics has to run away from that Hydralisk. They're just so strong. We all know the pain that they can inflict. They're so annoying, especially against not so strong yourself. Thrall pretty durable, but not optimal to go up against the Hydralisk, that's for sure. But Demise spotting him in the brush, he's going to be throwing out spells, and look at the damage Shy is pushing out there and the pressure in the lane.
Yeah, and look at us rotate. Anytime these two top lane powerhouses go at it, they instantly get a rotate coming out. I believe as soon as that spell, that Feral Wolf connects from Thrall, Shy is a dead man. But, it didn't connect that time. They have forced both members now to back out. And, so far so good. They do have the extremely good wave clear on the side of Microgods, and you can see as a result that they do have the slight XP lead.
Yeah, and it's easy for them to rotate out. I mean, when you've got a Muradin in a lane, he's not really going to be able to wave clear too easy, is he? So he's going to be, using a lot of mana, using a lot of his abilities to actually do that. But we do see a rotate Philo out of position and gets taken out so fast. It's going to be so bad for Microgods here. Trying to get this point. Nice follow-up stun there, and CC on to Tuka. He's going so low, cannot survive.
Perfect.
And yeah, just like you say, it's going to be perfect execution there. caught them on the rotate, trying to grab that. And all that needs to happen now is for Shy to grab this top camp, or this top shrine, I guess you could say. And Godzilla actually trying to respond down here. Aluminum going to follow up with the stuns. Doesn't quite connect. But it looks like they're going to get that point nice and easy.
Yeah, so that's actually what Override's comp is. It's all about picks. They don't really have the strongest lanes nor the strongest wave clear. They're just basically looking to try and pick you on the rotate, and pick they did. They picked up nice 2 kills there. Lumen getting a bit of damage onto him, but he's going to top himself up with the Holy Light there. Jetty trying to do a bit of exchange onto the weak target of Leeming. Weak in terms of health, obviously, but both shrines have now been controlled, and well, Rhaegar's already coming up once again. Rhaegar doing so much work on the support. He does take a bit of a beating. As Shai says, go away, mate. You're not ganking me today. But look, both these towers have no ammo left in them. Jetty's coming in from the side. John's clocked him on. He's already dropped the Singularity Bomb. Oh, actually, he didn't. He dropped it a bit late. I missed that one. It did actually miss, so the kill would have definitely been there because Luminum was definitely on the rotate as well. But it's an interesting lane setup in the bot-hand side. It's KVA going up against Godzilla. Former teammates at that as well.
Yeah.
And Godzilla theoretically should win this despite the attack speed debuff.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter in this situation, but nice body blocking there by John. That's actually going to secure a kill most likely. Godzilla does go down. That's going to give them the bottom shrine there. Here comes JD trying to respond, trying to get a kill on KVA, but it's not going to be enough, my friend. John jumps out as JT and Rhaegar surround him there, but you know, JD and crew are not going to be able to take him out themselves. Not a lot of stuns you see there. So, of course, they are just going to be able to push him off and grab that shrine themselves. And now Tucker possibly looking to pick this up, but against Demise, he's going to have a hard time.
Yeah, and look how low Shy and Physics both are on his top-hand side. I say it's really such a brutal lane. They're both so very strong, and if any of them get any damage off against each other, it's so frustrating. And look at that. This is post, once again, pre-nerf on Zagara. You chuck at the Hydralisk, you're just forced to run back. You don't even want to take one shot of it. It's just not worth it. And once again, in this bot-hand side, they're having a bit of a scuffle. They're trying to deny. KV is going to say, no, we're going to keep this shrine, but he decides to back away from it as well. Holy Light's already been popped. He's going to still run away. Don't believe he needs to use his tap. He'll just let his passive kick in. And Tuka's coming on for the rotate.
Here comes a big rotate. Could potentially be a big fight, but John and KVA already in a bit of a position here. Demise obviously not in the best position himself, so best, I think, to just walk out of there. And I think I just want to comment on before what happened there with the Muradin. KVA, how he went down on that shrine, Dwarven tossed himself in, and how they walked out of that is very smart. So, I mean, we have a bit of time here as well to look over the talents. A bit of standard stuff coming out here from the Uther, picking up that cleanse. So it's very nice to combat the CC that they have in Team Micro Gods. We do also see the follow-through build, and actually a Vorpal Blade, so big play is going to be coming out of that Zeratul. No seasoned marksman.
Yeah, John feeling very confident on his plays there to be able to jump in and out and sort of really make things happen. You get so much gap closing potential. Fry actually did jump and dive. As John, as we were mentioning, him did actually make a play in that top hand side. But I mean, Joanna, yeah, picked up every single condemned talent, really looking to try and harp on through with that wave killer and try and keep this XP lead. But they have dropped slightly, and that kill there wasn't really going to help. These two towers are about to drop. Shy really doing so much work.
Yeah, the work that Zagara does, though, quite a natural at that, I must say. And all the while, all we're seeing is just that she's picking up the creep spread talents, and she's picked up her more now. Here comes a big VP, and John looking to make some plays with his team. KVA and the rest wanting to follow up, but a bit preemptive there on that Arcane Orb, going to minimize that damage just so much. And Thrall actually engaging on Shy in the back. The Maw actually missed. Oh, what an unfortunate play. Sunder coming out, and Shy certainly going down. Not a good fight for Team Override there.
Punished so very hard as a result, and well, I mean, the VP, like you said, the VP went off. The heal went out from Holy Radiance as well. I'm not sure if they were too concerned about that damage. But I mean, yeah, the Arcane Orb went out to disintegrate too, and there's not really much you can do when the bulk of your damage just gets negated in a flash.
Exactly. I mean, all they had to do was drop it that little fraction bit earlier, or just wait a bit longer, and they picked up their Dragonite as well. So, quite unfortunate there, I must say. Godzilla taking such a big amount of damage, but to get that Dragonite, you can't really complain. JT taking a bit as well, but they need to back up the Dragonite, so just going to simply go tap well most likely, and nice pressure coming out of Tuka here, just pushing the players back, not allowing them a second of breathing room there. That's what you need to see when you're performing that Dragonite.
Yeah, they got really punished as a result of losing the team fight. That they picked up a free dragon. Physics pushed out that lane, forcing Shy to go to respond to it. Now, and they have actually equaled out the levels now, so both sitting at level 11. They're going to try and force a lead as a result. They've taken the two towers in this mid-hand side. They're looking for a fort as well. Tuka does still have 20 seconds left on this dragon, which is not looking too healthy now. I don't know if he's going to respond to go to a different lane. Shy's already done quite a bit of work to counter push this lane out, and has forced Thrall's attention, but this might be the time for them to fight. As the Dragon now does expire.
Yeah, that being said though, when the Dragon does expire, for anyone that doesn't quite play this game so often, or you're quite new, actually pushes back all the players, so it's quite often you see safer characters pick up that Dragonite so they can actually disengage out of it even further, so it's very hard to actually get a kill when someone expires from the Dragonite, so usually don't really see players going for them that often. And we'll look at the damage here. Li Ming proving that she is the powerhouse in her team, and Vala, of course, no stranger to danger there. She can, of course, emit danger from her dual crossbows. She's going to be taking the damage very high. And here comes Godzilla. Bit of a gank in the top lane. Oh!
Shy is definitely dead here as a result. Everything seems to connect them more. Only onto one target, only onto Thrall. But I mean, with that much CC, even with the slow totem coming out of Rhaegar, there's not a lot that you can do. You've got to really make sure that you can land that more, even if you just place it preemptively in front of yourself to try and capture as many people as possible. But once again, Shy gets punished so very hard. Override as a result going to get punished very hard, but it might be a bit of a trade. They've got Knights pushing up from this top-hand side, and Override have got the Golems pushing on the bot-hand side. They do have a slight lead, it would seem, but wow, Jaddy looks to see if he's actually going to push this one back on his own.
Yeah, actually quite interesting. He's gone for, I suppose you could say, a bit of a hybrid build there. Getting those, getting a bit of a split shot or whatnot, and getting that Hungering Arrow talent. So I think that's the reset talent there. They are going to be picking up this hard camp in the bottom lane, however, and you know, Microgods are going to be picking up this hard camp in the top lane. So going to continue to the pressure on the top lane. Probably going to rotate mid or something, get that shrine. They do start moving down now. Maybe looking to grab that easy. Possibly maybe to gank the bot lane from taking that hard camp. So, yep, they do grab that easy. It's just a matter of time until these players run into each other. The XP lead is just ahead for Microgods. Override, you know, they definitely want to respond. And look at John just waiting so patiently down there in the bot lane.
Yeah, Shy's still locked up in this top-hand side, and I'd really be saying if I was Microgods right now, let's force a fight. Let's definitely go into the shrine. Let's play aggressive. We can afford to. We have a number advantage.
Yep,
Godzilla
exactly.
already going to the mid lane. Thrall's rotating up to the top-hand side, and Li Ming there
definitely
is
the play.
full protection. So they have a safe cap on bot. If I was Override, I'd be saying let's all go bot now and try and fight them whilst they do split this attention, and that seems to be the call that's being made. But action seems to be happening every single where. John does get out, but the Blessed Shield does connect through. Wow, I mean, the Strafe goes off as well. So many ultis burn. I'm a bit shocked by the fact that they're trying to force this so very hard. And KVA is not going to be too phased by this whatsoever.
Yeah, I mean, they're probably going to be feeling pretty good about their old Override. They might actually want to force a fight now, and KVA coming from XL5 and a couple of other players from Iron White and stuff, they're going to be reapplying their pressure, and physics going so low here. A lot of damage being pumped out onto him. And I think we're going to be seeing a fight very quickly by Override if they play this smartly. They have ultis
look
burned.
at this. They've already taken that keep before, or the fort I should say, sorry. And there we go, the blink has already been used.
Oh,
and
no.
the grapple connects. That's a dead demise. Godzilla nearly juked himself. Shy in a similar situation again. The Maw only connecting with one again. The Maws haven't really been too impactful at this stage. And despite all that, that might have been the call all along. Hey, let's just bait, let's just distract them, because John has ninja'd himself a dragon.
Yep, well, he's going to be going down bot lane. I'm going to question how effective this is going to be, though. It's going to be quite hard for John to do much here. He's going to be able to place a bit of fire, for sure. Oh, man, but the damage is certainly there. All the players ready to respond to John, and he's just so unfortunate that they did pick up their Dragonite. But the effectiveness of the said Dragonite is just going to be absolutely ineffective here. He's going to be dying right away. Of course, he is Zeratul, although he's going to hop over that wall and be 100% safe.
In all honesty, though, I don't think that's the worst play they could have made. I think that's the best situation they could have made out of a poor scenario, because it's not like on, say, Cursed Hollow or say, even Spider Tomb when you're behind and you waste your hand in. It's more so that you've denied them from picking it up and snowballing the lead even further. Now, they are level 16. They have to wait until they can get 16 themselves before they do force another fight. More is not available for another 40 seconds.
Must be a bit of damage over that wall there, and using their range potential.
Yeah.
A couple of those mutas and stuff, so they managed to apply a bit of pressure there.
And this is when, I mean, this is when Microgods, just to carry on my point, this is when Microgods start to spike quite a bit. Once they get a few more talents under their belt, they don't just be this sort of wave clearing machine. They have a lot of sort of utility and power behind them to sort of scare what Override brings to the table.
Yeah, and I mean, we even see Thrall, he didn't pick up the follow-through abilities, mainly picking up his Wind Fury talents, but actually picking up the Envenom as well. Big plays coming out though, Joanna, unstoppable, already being popped, very smart indeed. Don't think you guys are going to be able to kill her, unfortunately, but they're actually responding with a bit of pressure. Just picked up their level 16 talents, so maybe that was what they were going for, trying to burst someone, but they didn't quite pick the right target there. So they're going to be responding to their own play there. by just trying to find something else to do, I guess. So they're going to be pushing in that bottom lane, apply the pressure down there.
Oh, they might actually meet up. We might actually get to see a team fight for once now. They are going to converge from both left and right. They are split right now. KV has already begun work on this easy camp, but well, no, Microgods have played it pretty well. They decided to split off quite well, and they've decided that they don't actually want to commit to anything too far. Godzilla is going to go. They might actually contest for this boss, for this actual camp. There goes the Sundering. There goes the damage. They're going straight on towards Shy. And the Blessed Shield, the VP onto 2 at the back line. Look at the strafe. Jetty doing so much work. He takes out John straight away. Shy's going to drop as well. Super, super low. He's got Godzilla chasing him. The Divine Shield from, well, the Divine Spirit coming out of Lufa is going to expire now. It only gives Demise a little bit of health. The Ancestral does connect through, and KVA, the tankiest member on their team, is going to drop as well. That's 4 members for 2, and Microgods come out on that one.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure if you saw what happened there, Skimmy, but the VP that went down in the backline there, it actually stopped the Maw from being effective at all, so didn't actually connect as well. And that's, I believe, one of the, this is one of multiple Maws that just really hasn't been that effective, as you did say earlier. I do feel like, you know, maybe they're a bit of a panic Maw because the Sonya playing so aggressive. She's just
look at these pings. They're going straight towards this. Not to cut you off there, but so you can see they're getting very sort of panicky. Come on, let's go, 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 Dragon. But I mean, they really did get ahead on that one, as you said, and they already had the Night Camp pushing in the top-hand side, but level 18 now to level 17. And, well, we might actually be in for a very long game, because I say we're reaching that 15-minute mark, and these two teams are definitely fearsome.
Yeah, well, I mean, at this point, the Dragonites start getting more and more scary. So every one you give up, it's pretty much gonna tilt you. You know, so you can get one strong Dragonite push when your whole team's down. It can potentially win the game. So I imagine what they're trying to do, both teams respectively, is just wear and tear them down. So break down the walls. So when you've got that big Dragonite after that big team fight, you can run in and end the game. So it's usually how we see these games end, but sometimes can end so quickly with that snowball. But we're moving into the end game now. We aren't going to see that whole snowball mechanic really play into effect because the levels are even. So everything is an even playing field. It's all about player skill and mechanics here.
Yeah, and one thing to say on the topic of player skill, I've been really impressed with Jaddy, how he's been playing this Vala, the hybrid build that he's brought to the table. He's been doing so much work, and you can see from the damage as well, he's keeping up on pace with this Li Ming, which has gone for this more Seeker-orientated build of doing tons of damage from those missiles, as opposed to what we normally and more commonly see be a teleport build. But once again, Physics playing very passive with this one. He didn't actually go towards this keep. He's just taken out those 2 initial towers, and he's decided to back off.
Yeah, it's a
play
nice
things
play.
safe.
It's pretty good because it means they don't have to force an engage.
Oh, there we go. KJ jumps straight across the bridge, straight across the bush at that. The stun goes out, the Singularity Bomb as well. The grapple doesn't connect, unfortunately, because he didn't pick up the talent. He's gone for the shield for the reduced damage on ability power. And
they actually going for the push at
that's
the bottom.
That's a big thing to really lose at this stage, because now they can have an open invitation into this bottom hand side of the keep.
Oh, Proven self-casting and ancestral healing there. That's going to top him up.
Can't do that anymore, can you?
Yeah, you can't do that anymore. That's a big change there, I must say. That's you know, Demise taking a bit of damage as well. That hungry arrow is certainly hungry. You can almost call it starving there. Just jumping around, dashing around like a spastic, trying to kill on that Li Ming there, but not enough. But they have applied that pressure. That was quite a nice turnaround they did. They got that pick, ran in, and Sonya, she was a bit out of position there, and you were right about that shield. Quite funny about that.
Yeah. Well, I think they lost a lot of the sort of power that came from being level 20, because bear in mind, Overrides still aren't level 20, so even though they were a member down, they did have the pressure to really bring to the table with that extra talent.
Such a cool member as well, Sonya. You know,
and you do need Sonya with Frau, which usually you'd see on either team, whether or not they're banned or taken away from the draft, but on the same team together, they really want to be diving this heavy back line, and they've been doing that quite well so far, especially on Zagara.
And if we look at the 20 talents really quickly on Team Microgods, we do see 2 blinks or 2 bolts of the storm being picked up there, and we do see Hardened Shield being picked up by Sonya, Storm Shield being picked up by Rhaegar, and I believe that's, what is that talent there by Joanna? Is it Improved Unstoppable or something like that?
That's Unstoppable, yes. That basically means that once your
you get a
HP total,
health,
once your HP total goes down to 0%, you do stay alive for just a little bit longer, which is invulnerability at its very finest. Bubble Hearth, if you will. But level 20 now on both sides. This is when really it does, as you mentioned, count about more towards your mechanics and less about reaching those power potential spikes. So we'll have to see how they do it. John is playing a lovely little Zeratul right now, hiding in that bush, scouting out information. But look at that, the awareness by Tuka just to blindly check that bush. I love it.
Yeah, and they all moved together as well, so they certainly knew something fishy. Maybe going down nicely, Juke there on that big arcane bomb. That would have certainly dropped them a wee chunk of damage there. And that hard camp still applying the pressure at top lane. So really, Override, they don't have much time to play with. They can't really mess around here too long, because they do need to respond to that. And they sent up Zeratul, so he doesn't have the best clear, but he does have a lot of damage on that burstiness, and he will be able to cap that at the top.
He's not even phased though. He's just going to go straight for the shrine, because I have a feeling that if he did go for that wave, they actually would have got out-rotated, because they would have said, hey, let's just push bot.
Yep.
And once again, we get another big advantage out of this. So.
And they're playing it safe by getting that cap at top as well, so they still have to cap top before they can go get Dragon up, which also splits Microgods up and for a future fight potentially. But of course, they are going to remain split. They need to deal with that hard camp, and I believe that Team Override, they are fully aware of where the enemy team is right now. They just can't really do much about that. They're just going to be waiting for them to rock up, but oh, this is kind of bad. Blessed Shield could come out here and really connect, and here comes a Sundering. Nice wee blink there by Demise, getting him out of that Sundering. Blessed Shield comes out, stuns coming out, KVA. Nice big more! 3-man more, and Divine Shield being popped, and here comes big damage spike coming out in physically, topped up by Ancestral Healing. Tucker going so low as well. KVA trying to connect the stun. CC coming out, Godzilla. Reduce CC though at best, and Vala getting pushed into that VP, 3-man VP, a lot of slow potential here, really change the dynamic of the fight, but no, that is just what Microgods needed. And you know, Sonya, she can just come out of any CC like that. Demise, oh, blowing up one of the characters there. JT getting taken so low as well, and what a desperate fight. Are they going to keep pushing? KVA jumps on his mount, here he goes. Is he got a Dwarven Toss? Are we going to see it? There it goes, and it's not quite going to be enough for KVA there.
Wow, what a chaotic series of events, really. I mean, the initial Bolt of the Storm coming out of Thrall there to start it all off with the Sundering and the counterplay to really turn that thing around. But what really punished them there, what really punished Override, was the fact they didn't get that initial pick. They dropped so many people super, super low, and by the time the VP came out, they kind of exhausted all their options. They didn't really have a lot of steam. And by the time that had sort of come about, Microgods all had their cooldowns available, and they just turned the ante and took out 2 straight away onto Zagara and onto Urfa. So interesting series of events. Maybe a bit more focus fire will be required, but they have picked up Dragon as a result of all this, and it's a level 20 Dragon at that, so it's going to do so much damage, as you can see.
Yeah, it's really good timing for that as well, because they are 2 down. Joanna, of course, has all those condemned talents which she can pull in, and that's going to be really annoying when you're trying to push for the Dragon Knight. So good thing that she isn't up. Sonya also as well, such a powerhouse, and going to apply so much pressure and really force you to kind of react to a team fight. You can check out the damage really fast. Li Ming doing 62k, and Vala not far behind at all. In fact, you can say she's right on top of that. So John taking a lot of damage, blinded as well, needs to back out of there. Nice damage. Oh, Demise, you cheeky wee soul down there. Just hides behind in the brush. Does what Li Ming does best and pokes through inaccessible areas.
That's the one, and Li Ming, obviously with that level 20 spike with the slow on top of her 20-second cooldown ultimate.
Yeah, very strong.
There's
slow
so much utility to bring to the team. It gives you so much potential just to chase on with, say, a Zeratul and with, say, a Zagara, which can pump out a lot of sustained DPS.
Exactly.
If
and
allowed to.
With the Maw as well, really opens
And that
up
was such a good Maw.
opportunities.
That's exactly the time Shy needed to clutch and go big or go home, because I say the Maws, as we mentioned, hadn't really been too impactful to start off with. But look, they're actually going to rotate to the top lane. Nice. They did actually get juked out, and this has been an open invitation to go straight for the mid lane, pick up a free fault, and well, Override will be taking those invitations all day, every day.
Yeah, well, they had to respond to Dragon Knight, to be fair, but very smart play by Override, I guess you could say, in that sense, because they reacted to it and they knew what was going on, and they managed to pick themselves up another 4. Of course, the XP, not the biggest deal, but what they're looking for is map control, the wear and tear of the map, as I was discussing with you before, Skimmy. I'm sure you could agree with me there as well. Hard camp. Oh, it's an easy camp, sorry, in the bottom lane being picked up by Override. It looks like they're actually going to try and contest this, but Tuka.
Oh, he doesn't check it this time, and this might be a VP to zone off the back line. They are split, but Tuka not really the ideal target to go for. He didn't actually check the bush this time, and
pretty easy.
John could have really punished him as a result, but they have had to give up these 2 bottom easies, and we need to see some magic come out of Override right now to make things go.
Yeah, I think what they're doing is they're trying to delay the time so the easy camps in the bot lane can do some work. But to be honest, it's kind of hard for them, so they're just going to have to siege up mid and hope to not get into a team fight. It's not exactly what you want in this situation. They're trying to play a bit safe, and you can understand why, because if they lose a fight, they could potentially be over. A lot of damage being pumped out onto Godzilla there. Not quite enough, and like I said, they're not too keen to commit. And of course, they need stuff to get away, don't they? So you don't want to go completely ham, especially when there's an ancestral healing floating about by an ancestral healer, I guess you could say. But looks like they're going to drop off now to respond to that top lane pressure.
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, Demise was playing rather passive at the start there, and understandably so, he is leaving. He can get pretty much globaled by anybody, but they say, we did see Ro1, which is his main threat in the bot-hand side, clearing down. He's not exactly going to be able to bolt halfway across the map to make anything happen, so they could play a little bit more aggressive when they were sieging there, but nonetheless, they are carrying on right now. The grapple doesn't connect once again. It just wilds out, and Tuka is doing the big flip on the side. He's flanking pretty hard, but nothing is going to eventuate out of that one too. So a bit of a stalemate so late in this game, and this is when the pressure really does ramp up, because I say the respawn timers are at least a minute at this time.
Yeah, Zagara's finally rotating down now after applying the pressure at the top lane. And I mean, we're 24 minutes in almost. So it's not something you usually see in Heroes of the Storm. Sometimes even in professional matches you see them going on for like 10 minutes and just such steamrolling wins. But these teams seem to be quite evenly matched today, and they're doing quite well at keeping themselves in the game. Very, very stalemate-ish, just like you said, Sta'immy. So we do see them. They've both got their one camp, and I mean, one thing I like Microgods that they're doing is they've always got pressure in the other lanes. They're always picking up those hard camps, and it's really dictating what Override have to deal with at what times. So they're limiting their time, but look, they're reacting early. They're going down there to deal with that, and actually Microgod's doing the exact same thing.
Yeah, so it's once again another stalemate play. It's kind of like, hey, there's some mercs available on the map, let's do this, let's force their hand and get them to rotate, but they basically just swap shrines from going from top to bottom. So I do feel it as if they were to say race, Override would have...
Wait a minute, what is going on up here?
Override would have had the better advantage.
Oh, this is...
Well, that was it. I was going to say, Override would have had the better advantage if they did go towards that core. Because it is open, they could have done something as opposed to the keep up here, which is still nice and healthy. I was expecting potentially Zeratul to try and delay.
This might be the play. So Zeratul did see them all backing. He is up the top now, capturing that point. Can they grab this though? I don't think they can. This might be a bit too much. Demise! Oh, nice sundering there. Actually, the fight is breaking out. More has missed. Shy going down nice and early. Doesn't look too good for Team Override. And Divine Shield being popped on Uther himself. Demise so low. No healer to be seen. VP being popped. Crewvin in the background. He's going to pounce. Is he going to get Demise? Yes, he is. And KVA, you are certainly going to go down as well, my friend. A whole team chasing him. Oh, nice heals by Luminum though to keep him alive. Pounce on that Rhaegar, not enough, does get stunned. And JT coming in here, has spotted John. John just just dips on past there, and they know what he's doing, so they need to be very, very cautious. And oh, look at him just being so cheeky. So cheeky.
I like how they actually did decide to turn around and didn't actually just forget that, hey, you know, they can actually get a dragon if they're not too careful. If you just decide to push through and try and get a keep, but
that would be pretty funny.
I mean, that fight just went a bit poorly, really. I mean, they nearly got the keep. They nearly got the dragon sword. They nearly got the dragon cap, and then the sundering came out, and the Maw once again it just completely whiffed. And
I feel like they expected themselves to get the dragon, and when it didn't, like when they didn't get it, they panicked.
Yeah,
so
right.
Like, that's what it seemed like, because there was ultimates being popped left and right. None of them were connecting. We saw the Divine Shield going out on Uther, whereas dying as Uther isn't so bad. He does have the redemption, so could have come back, so maybe a bit of a misplay, but what can you do in that situation? A big sundering really changed that fight there and really turned it into Microgod's favour. Now 26 minutes in the game, that's a 26-minute Dragonite. This is going to wreak havoc, so they need to play this so careful. With their ultimates on cooldown, coming back shortly, next couple of seconds, it might be a bit difficult, and I'm sure they don't want to blow them, but just before such a crucial fight, and they're going to be
Microgods, they don't actually have a minion wave to back them up. I say they got these golems already beating on towards the core, so they actually they were trying to push a lane that they can never push.
Yeah, exactly.
So they've wasted so much time sort of sitting there taking poke from this Li Ming, and this dragon's already taken, say, 25% of its life. So they are going to rotate now to a lane that does have some minions. They're going to try and actually make something happen. They're going to try and pick up a keep, but once again the damage just coming out. Oh, the sundering and the blink as well, straight away from Demise. The Maw finally has connected. It's onto two members, I believe. The stun comes out as well. Doesn't actually connect because the shield was popped there by Joanna. So much damage coming across. Luminum is going to drop. The Ancestral connects as well. The VP onto so many people right there by the keep. And, well, there's only one death at this stage. The Holy Ghost is going to be coming back in just a second. He's going to pop up just now. And despite all that chaotic sort of mess, nothing really happens except the strafe is still available.
Oh, John actually trying to apply pressure. Nice wee blink there, though. And stunned to follow up on JD, so he didn't actually get connected. Bit of a waste of a charge, if you ask me. There, Godzilla taking a lot of damage. Shrink Ray being popped. Stun coming up by KVA, and this could be a big pick.
Nice play. And Tuka now going solo. Look at the damage from the Lee man coming out. Burst so hard. And here comes the Unstoppable. That passive we saw, the level 20 talent coming in handy there. John, the strafe is legendary by JT. Dropping Cavier solo. Tobias could be going down as well. Can't quite save the Vala there. And
Chain
can they
lightning!
get... Oh! And that... Oh my lord, this could be potentially GG. I'm not too sure if they can push with just what they got though. Shy is still alive. All he really has to do is heal up. Is this the play? Is this the play? No.
Surely Zagara can do something. Tuka has nothing available to him. A Hydralisk will do so much work. And Mutalist get that.
Lord,
Physics has got no mana. Cruven can't really do too much except his passive. They're
What's
going to take so
going
much
on?
damage. They're taking so much damage to the core
Oh
itself.
my lord.
Physics is forced to blink away. 1 drop, two
two
drops.
drops.
Shy, clutch or kick. You can't land Moors, but you can at least have the keep to help you out.
Oh,
the core was doing
shots
so
fired.
much work. I do love you, Shy. You're a good mate, but hello. What an intense series of events, and I like to harp on about it, but Jaddy, I love the fact that he had that strafe available. He didn't just pop it because it's available, because he saw the rest of his team go for it. He hung on to it, and look how much value he got as a result.
Yeah, but to be honest with you, I don't want to grill Team Microgods here, but really feel like that was a misplay.
Big time.
They didn't get much off of that. Sure, they dropped the keep down to 60%, the main building, or what, the keep, the fort, whatnot. 60%, you know, is it worth losing all those members? You know, you could have maybe got those camps that are up on the map now, applied that pressure, come back with your full team, and just really caused the havoc like
I think
that.
that's that adrenaline really rushing into your system, and you're like, come on, we just, you know, we've just won. Zagara can't do much, you can't 1v3, but they didn't have much life, they didn't really have
Any mana.
much mana as well, and it's one of those decisions where you kind of choke.
Well, you can't blame them. But here we go. Cavier rolling down. And Override, they're looking to make a response. They're going to pick up this easy. So they've got 3 camps to the enemy Micropods. 1. Oh, but...
Oh,
being
the
popped.
VP. I was going to say the VP was definitely out there to try and deny the Ancestral from connecting,
Yeah.
but it's basically just been a way to say we want to pick up this easy camp, and once again the shrines have now been activated. Zagara's already in position and was nowhere near that bot hand side to help them out. And
I don't think they knew that either. So that could be... Oh my lord, this is
might
quite a...
stealth
yeah.
cap another dragon. John's already in position. John's already picked it up. 29 minutes starting, 30 minutes actually into this game. This dragon, in essence, could really just run bot with these golems and just hit the core.
Yeah, well, guess what? Ancestral Healing is off cooldown, on cooldown I should say as well. So they're not going to have that ultimate. That could be very, very big for them in this fight. So yes, Strafe also on cooldown, 25 seconds. Hopefully they know this. Luminum and KVA taking the front line. Godzilla in the back. Dragonite going forth on the building. This is what they need to do. But what they need is the backup of their team. It's going solo. Already at 50%. Can they take it? Looks like they can, and that is GG. First game going to Override from Override versus Microgods.
Wow, what a chaotic ending to a game. 30 minutes in its entirety, and so back and forth. There was situations where both teams looked like could have won it, but you know, a few clutch sort of shot calling decisions, and things can go your own way if they want them to.
Yeah.